Coach Laqua, National Signing Day is upon us. How fired up are you right now?
I'm hashtag fired up, Webby. It's an exciting day. You know, as always, I think when it's a long process, you know, for us, it's a 13-month recruiting process that we kind of go through. And a lot of these guys have had their decisions made and we've been excited about. And it's kind of like Christmas. You can't talk about it until the day. And so we get that chance to talk about it. I think a lot of work, a lot went into it from staff, from campus. You know, it's a collective effort that gets guys to our campus, to our program, and you know, they're starting in a new journey in life. And that, I think, is something that excites you because it's you see them grow and transform in front of your face.
Well, let's stick with that metaphor of Christmas Day. What was on your Christmas wish list that you gave out to your assistant coaches and all the people who helped Dragon football, of what you were looking for out of this class?
Yeah, for sure. And for us, fit is always first. I think that's the number one thing, of finding the guys that fit our program, the culture, the values, that they're going to do what's right. They're going to be find a way guys that keep getting better, and they're great teammates, and they value hard work, and they value those things. And that's where it starts. And so I think, you know, from that standpoint, I thought we got a great match again with this crew. If you look at our staff, they've been together a long time. They've been part of the Dragon way. We've got coaches that have been players that have been through it. And so that they know what it takes to succeed within our program. So it starts there. I think offensively, you look at it, quarterback always is a key piece. That in every recruiting class, you're trying to add quarterbacks that can compete, that can take the program to a high level. And I think we did a great job this year with those three guys. I think it's probably top to bottom, I would say, the best quarterback class that we've had. And so that, I think, is exciting. You know, since our first day of team meeting of fall camp last year, we had 8 offensive linemen that, you know, chose to graduate and move on from the program. And so our offensive line class was maybe a little bit bigger than typical years, but we also had a big senior class that left. And so success happens from the trenches, and that starts on offense up front. And we definitely needed to improve our ability to run the football this year. And so we targeted size. We targeted offensive linemen that we felt like were tough and gritty type players. And so I think offensively, we did a great job with that. And then I would say also on the wish list offensively, tight end wise, creating mismatches, you know, and we found some tight ends that I think can be tight ends. They can be receivers. We found some guys that can be fullbacks to tight ends to wings that can go out and split out as a receiver. And so I thought we added some guys to the program that will create some matchup problems in the future. I think defensively, we really targeted edge guys on the defensive line. You need that pass rush in our league. I thought we did a great job getting that, you know, list accomplished. And in defensive backs, guys that were ball hawks that would play the football, that had great instincts for it. We ended up finding those guys that were able to get a lot of interceptions and cover a lot of ground and space. And then, you know, if you look at what we did from a linebacker standpoint, that's kind of your heart and soul, not just your defense, but your special teams. Right. And I thought that was a really good group. And, you know, you throw in long snapper, kicker, you know, specialists. I thought top to bottom, this is a really good class for us.
Yeah, you always throw out the comparisons of where different people landed for teams and stuff like that. But really the only thing you can compare is yourself in different classes in the past. How does this class, like you said, as a whole, kind of compare to previous classes that you've had now that you've been in this role for quite some time? You know, what does this class really excite you for going into next year?
I think this class is interesting in the top to bottom. There's a special grittiness or toughness. I don't know. There's that.
How do you identify that in a group? Like, I know you can do it for each guy. How do you identify that in a whole class?
I think because most of the guys at a higher percentage seem to have that chip on their shoulder, kind of that, yeah, I'm here to prove somebody wrong, or I'm here to prove that I can make it at this level, that I'm going to excel, that I'm going to come in and compete to play early, you know, whatever it is. It just seems like this class as a whole had, I think, quiet confidence, but confidence that was like I said, a chip on the shoulder with something to prove. And we've had guys like that, obviously.
Sure.
In our program, in our class, but I think top to bottom, this class just has that feeling more so.
Awesome. Well, the one awkward thing that's always kind of been here for the last couple of years with classes is COVID. And you mentioned a bigger graduating class, and we've seen kind of the extra year with the COVID waivers and all that kind of stuff. How did that impact this class?
Yeah, and really it did kind of was influenced by last year's, and last year's class was smaller because we didn't have as many guys leaving because
Right.
there was extra eligibility, and so it went smaller. But then I think like anything in business, you'd probably call it a market correction.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of happened and it balanced out. And so this class was probably a little bit bigger than what it's been in the past. And so between the two, I think it balanced it out really well. We landed about exactly where we wanted to from numbers from when we first set out. And obviously with your recruiting plan, you make adjustments as things go and whatever. But I thought Coach Needham laid out a great plan for us, and we hit on our plan. The coaches that were in the trenches with boots on the ground were getting things done. And so top to bottom, great collective effort, really excited about it and glad to finally talk about it and celebrate it.
Well, we are too. And we're looking forward to obviously next year and seeing Dragon football out on Shields Field once again. So tell us what Dragon football looks like and that product on the field next year as we bring in a bunch of new faces to the program.
I think you'll see a bunch of new faces on the field next year. Because again, going back to the COVID, we had a senior class that was at the helm in a leadership role longer than any other senior class. And so
right.
Those leaders were the voices in our locker room and in our weight room. They were definitely the people that were seen on the football field for a long time. The guys like Grady Bresnahan and Matt Scholl and Shad Vita that had played so much football. And you're going to see a bunch of new faces because we had a bunch of guys that were kind of entrenched. And so there's a lot of leadership roles up for grab on our team. And I think our guys have been doing a great job in the weight room and developing their new identity of this football team. It's new season, new faces, but same Dragon mentality, same Dragon culture. But new guys need to step up and take the torch and run with it.
You mentioned one thing that I want to hit on. It's the weight room, which if anybody who hasn't been paying attention to anything that we're doing, we got a new one and it's pretty cool. How has that weight room affected recruitment and the development of our football program?
Oh, without a doubt. In recruiting, it's one of the things that comes up when you're on a visit, right? It's really, you can recruit off of Zoom and phone and text and whatever, but until you come here and you see things and experience the relationships, the culture, you see a place like the weight room. It just got so many comments about how great it was in comparison to so many other places. And obviously to a football player and a football team, that's important because you spend a lot of time in there. You have to develop your body physically, whether that's muscle mass, speed, size, agility, whatever. And so that's been a huge piece for our program, for the current players, obviously for these guys coming in, and then for the future, just like it has for all the Dragon athletes. And so we're really happy that we had so many generous donors that made that happen. That again, a collective effort goes into putting a great football team or any sports team on the field. It's not just the coaches recruiting, it's not just the players playing, it's the people that are helping out, in this case, get us the facilities that can train athletes to take them to a higher level.
Yeah, we're all trying to pound the rock a little bit, Coach. And
if we all pound, eventually we're going to break something and make it into something pretty special.
Well, you got a special class here. We're excited to welcome them all today, and for all their commitments, and congratulations to you and all your coaching staff on their hard work. And like you said, it's a 13-month process, and there's a lot of time invested in a lot of different people to get to today. So just, congratulations to all of you on your hard efforts, and looking forward to seeing you guys put it together as you do so well every year.
Thank you. Appreciate it.